Now this resume is going to crack every application possible in LinkedIn or Indeed or anywhere.
Yeah, hi guys. Welcome to Student Zone. See, like if you see, you have already applied plenty of job applications. Maybe you're from any department, like maybe you're from computer science department, or maybe you're from management side, like BBA, MBA, or anywhere. You have applied plenty of job applications till date. Just look back. How many applications have actually shortlisted for you? You upload resume here, there, every time, and just look back. How many have actually qualified that resume round? Why that was happening? See, if you see this hiring process clearly, there is two steps involved before you're opening your golden door. Okay, so what are those two steps? So the first one, before you're attending an interview, the first round you need to qualify, that is resume shortlisting. Okay, if you come to the statistics part, 75% of your resumes haven't seen with the eyes of a human. So only 25% was actually checking manually by human eyes. The 75% resumes were actually checked by ATS. What exactly is the ATS? So ATS is applicant tracking system. So if I want to put that even more simpler, it's like a robot. So if I send a resume to the robot, it will check all the keywords and it will shortlist the candidate based on the human resource manager's need. For example, I was hiring a guy, like a role for Python developer. So then I also set all these keywords and all the requirements what I need, how the candidate should have, and all these skills I already mentioned preloaded to the ATS. Okay, now this, if I send a resume to ATS, now ATS shortlist every keyword inch by inch. It will check every keyword and it will give a score. So what's the minimum score to qualify? So you should at least have 75 points out of 100. For example, I was telling. So if there are 100 words in your resume, so in that 100 words, you should at least have 75% out of 100%. Okay, so how are you going to do that? See, I'll explain you that in even more clear first. So for example, you're hiring for a Python developer role, right? So in the job description, wherever the company was mentioning, so there the company also mention you what are the skills they want, what are the soft skills they want, technical skills and soft skills, and they also mention any other requirement they need. Maybe other requirement, maybe on SQL they need or something like that. So everything they mention in the job description. So go through job description very clear first. And so now you made a resume, and there you wrote your objective, you wrote your summary, and you wrote your projects, and very important part, your skills. You write your skills. So in skills, usually people make a mistake that they mention every skill possible. So they mention C, C++, SQL, HTML, CSS, Java, JavaScript, Python. Now look back again. You mentioned 6 other skills, which was actually taking 6% of your scoring based on our 100% example. So now 6% was already gone for you because Java, C++, C, these are not required for that role. ATS doesn't know that one. So how are you going to optimize that? Actually make your resume really strong, and ATS is going to like select you at any cost now. Okay, so what are these things? The very first thing, that is keywords. So how you can find the keywords? So if you go through your resume, if you go through your job description when you're applying before in a LinkedIn, if you open your LinkedIn and check the job description, okay, in that job description they'll mention everything clearly. So what are the responsibilities you should have, what are the skills you need to have, on which particular skill you should be very strong at, and what are the soft skills. For example, you should good at communication skills, you should good at some presentation skills, something like that. They mention everything. Now what are you going to do? You need to make your resume optimized with that keywords. That means 90% of your resume should be optimized with those keywords. Okay, so this is the first step you need to do. So keywords management. So now ATS goes and will check everything possible and it'll mark your marks. Okay, maybe out of 80 you got 80%, your resume got selected, congratulations. You They might call you for an interview or any test, for example any written test, they'll call you for that. Okay, and the second thing is format. So see, most of the people ask me, so what is the page size for that? It is common default size, that is A4 sheet. And so many people have actually making mistakes. To make this resume even more beautiful, they'll add some colorings to the letters, they'll add pictures, they'll add different sort of graphics like box on their education and things like that. So don't do that. And also only follow two rules which were actually really important. Only follow these two things enough. So one, that is the font what you're using. Use Times New Roman, that is the official font you need to use. And the second one, you need to use the font sizing. So 10 and 12, 10 for your entire body size and 12 is for your bold letters like objective or education skills. For that you need to use 12, and the remaining 10 is enough. And when you're highlighting the points, the skills or something, don't use like a description. Use bullet points are very effective. Even ATS finds that really good. If you keep a bullet point, it considered as your achievement. Okay, so that is one of the way. And the fourth one, tailor your resume. Guys, tell me one thing. So when you are very young, when you're in your sixth standard, for example, you have a shirt, you have a pant. Okay, so now is that really fit for you now? No, obviously no, right? So in the same way, when you're applying for different companies, it doesn't fit for every role. So you need to change your resume for every single role. If you're applying for Python developer role, so it was never fit for a role called Java developer. Or else in a similar way, if you're applying for a data analyst role, it doesn't fit for some other Java developer or full stack developer role. So you need to tailor your resume. Tailor in the sense you need to adjust all the keywords, adjust all the other related things every time you're applying. Resume should be optimized every time when you're applying. Okay, so this is the fourth step. So what are the four steps we have discussed? One, that is you have to maintain your resume with the keyword optimization. And the two, that is format. You should have a Times New Roman format font, and then you have to have a particular sizing, that is 10 and 12, and there is no extra graphics. That means no color to the fonts, no boxes, grid boxes or any boxes. There is nothing like that. And there is no photo is also not required in India especially, so that is not required. And what is the next thing? That is tailor your resume. So these are the four things which are really important. Okay, so now we'll deep dive into the resume part. We'll look how actually the resume need to look like. We'll make a resume, we'll check that.
Yeah, so let's look at the things, guys. So how a bad resume look like and how you need to make your resume ATSly optimized. So this particular section, don't miss out. Okay, so every point where I was mentioning, that is very important for you. So now if you see this one, I saw plenty of people were actually having this type of resume. See here. So what is this graphics? So even if you see the graphics, that is not good. And one more thing here, the graphics. So you need to remember one thing, guys. So ATS can't find these like if you see these graphical representations, ATS can't find this one. Okay, ATS can't find this one. And also if you see here the boxes, even this one ATS can't find, and ATS doesn't even make this one as an eligible one. And since how much probability you gone here, you gone nearly 1 2 3 4 5, that means you almost gone 50% of your score. So how your resume got shortlisted? So don't use resumes like this. Okay, this is a bad resume, especially for freshers. This is not very good one. Okay, so don't use this type of resume. Now I'll show you the best resume possible, and like I'll show you job description first. After job description, we'll see job description and ATS optimized resume, how I optimized and how you can optimize yourself, and let's see together here. Okay, let me close this first. Let me open the JD and let me put that here. And also let me show you the ATS. Yes, here. Okay, fine. So first, anyway, I keep that resume aside. Now, if you see here, the about job, that is, this is the requirements what company needed. And if you have like, if you think where I got this one I basically got this from what do you say, this is Wipro. Okay, so this is one of Wipro's not now, Wipro's long ago data developer, sorry, Python developers requirements. Okay, so what are the roles and mandatory skills they need and everything they mention in your about section. Now let's begin. So the first, they already mentioned what are the mandatory skills you need to have. If you see here, what are the mandatory skills you need to have? One is Python, API integration, Flask, object relational mapping, ORM basically, and SQL. So these are the mandatory skills you need to have. Okay, these are the mandatory skills you need to have. And okay, fine, just talk about the mandatory skills. So very first thing you need to remember, when you're applying to a job, remember, apply only if you know all those skills. At least 80% of the skills, that's fine. So for example, now in this case, these are, everything should be mandatory, right? So in this, you don't know how to integrate API, or you don't know what's object relational mapping is, so that's fine. One, you might eliminate it, so don't add that to your resume. Okay, if you don't know something, don't add that to your resume. If you add that to your resume, your application should shortlist, like your application got shortlisted. But while interviewing, while interview was happening, interviewer asked questions based on your resume only. At that time you got caught. And if you got caught badly, then you're not going to a company, so what's the matter, even if the resume got shortlisted. So only add what are the skills you know. Here in this case, I know every skill. Okay, I was showing you a resume which having all the skills was matched, but in your case you only add what are the skills those matched. And come to the job description and roles and responsibility. So if you see, the role is involving design, coding and testing. You should be good at designing, coding and testing. And then mandatory tech skills you need to have, they already mentioned, but anyway they're mentioning in detail. So Python, in that there is some libraries, NumPy, Pandas, strong in data engineering and analysis, SQL Server. So these are the mandatory technical skills you need to have. I mean, plenty of people have these skills. So even you can prove here also. And good in writing Python code. Of course, you should be good in writing Python code. And hands-on experience with Pandas, NumPy stack. Okay, so we can do that. And able to perform data cleanup, summarizing with NumPy and Pandas. They also mention. See, some people say I clean up this data with SQL or Power BI. So they clearly mentioned here summarization should be using with NumPy and Pandas. And SQL knowledge is essential, so you should have SQL knowledge as well. Must have expertise in REST or fast API development, so any of them. Okay, and REST and fast. Okay, fine. So cloud experience is Azure and AWS. Okay, so we got some requirements. So what are the key points here? Python is one of the keyword. Python is keyword. API integration is a keyword. Flask is a keyword. Object relational mapping is a keyword, that means ORM, and SQL is a keyword. Okay, so these are the keywords I'm having in mandatory skills. Fine, that's the one point. And come to the second point, based on the job description here. So we have the roles will involve in design, coding and testing. So coding is a key point, and testing is also a key point. And skills, Python, NumPy, Pandas is a key points. Data engineering is a key point. Data analysis is also a key point. SQL server is a key point, that means keyword. Good in Python code. Python is keyword, we already discussed. And then Pandas and NumPy is keywords. And data cleanup is a keyword. SQL we already mentioned. REST and fast API is a keyword. And cloud experience, Azure and AWS is the keywords. So we have all the keywords prepared for us. Now we need to optimize our resume according to that. So for that, I prepared a resume here. Okay, I prepared a resume based on that. So just look how I actually made that. I make this full screen now. Now if you read here, motivated and detail oriented fresher, skilled in Python, Flask, API integration, object relational mapping, and SQL. Okay, so I mentioned all the keywords which were actually there in the JD, and passionate about leveraging data engineering and analysis expertise to contribute to innovative projects. Seeking an entry level position, I was telling I was a fresher. Okay, so seeking an entry level position, that means I was telling them that I was a fresher. So seeking an entry level position to utilize and expand my technical skills in a dynamic organization. So this is the best way. This is the best way to put your objective. Don't say I was a motivated individual looking for a role like that. Not like that. See, in your objective and summary, these two are basically best ways to manipulate the ATS. Okay, so these are the two places where we actually keep the keywords. Okay, so where ATS can find out. So don't waste these two places with useless stuff. Okay, load this with all the keywords which are actually there in the job description. And then coming to the education. See, in education part, everyone keeps your PU, that means your intermediate or PU or pre-university things in education place, like your school. I've graduated from XYZ school. I graduated from XYZ junior college. So no need of all these things. So they only need your very recent education. Okay, so they don't want your schooling, they don't want your junior college. If you have no junior college degree or there is no high school degree, you are not unable to join into a company. That is the simplest thing. So don't add everything and make your resume clumsy. So this is what you can actually add here. Okay, education. So I've completed BTech from computer science department from Presidency University Bangalore. I've graduated in 2019. So in that way. And then projects. So coming to the projects, so these projects should be related to your key your role. Okay, so your responsibilities and skills. Don't add your academic projects. For example, in your academy, like in your college time, you have done some projects on web development or any other IoT project or any other project. So we usually do these things, IoT projects or web development projects. We usually do that. So don't add all those shit. Okay, so that won't require. So do some other projects. You have to do some projects after you like while you're actually in your final year or when you're in third year. You need to do your projects. Okay, first prepare your portfolio first. Okay, so if you're a guy who is watching this video and you're having a plenty of time, like you're in third year or final year, but there is too much of time, make some projects which was relevant to your role. If you don't know all these details, I have already explained in one other video how to apply for jobs in LinkedIn. At that time I explained everything properly. You can go check it out. Okay, and here if you see like API based data management system system and technologies I used, Python, Flask, MySQL, REST API. 1 2 3 4, these four are basically the keywords from where, from the job description. And so you don't need to give all the description because the interviewer anyway ask you in the interview. So no need to give, but prepare for your projects. Preparing for your projects is really important. And then the second project I have mentioned, that is data analytics and reporting tool. Okay, and what are the technologies I have used? Python, Pandas, NumPy, and SQL. And one more thing, these four are another keywords which I have mentioned. If you go to our JD, and simply I described, created a data analytic tool to process and visualize large data sets. Okay, and developed an RESTful API to handle crude operations of dynamic data management system. See guys, until here my ATS score is more than 98. Not 98, maybe 97 or 98 in between. So now coming to the skills and ability. So in skills and ability, so programming language which I have, like I have Python and frameworks, Flask, REST API. See, I mentioned in this way. If you want to mention in a simpler way, simple and easy, don't make it too clumsy, you eliminate this programming language thing, framework thing, database management thing, data analysis thing, or tools. Eliminate all those things and add all the keywords in skills. See, all the keywords, if you add all the keywords, this resume definitely going to shortlist for that role. Definitely, for sure. But if you are not good at some of these, try to eliminate that. Even if your resume got shortlisted, you may not open your first door. Okay, and then the next one is certificates and achievements. So what are the certifications you have? Because if you are certified Python developer by any other company, for example IQ interns, if you have certificate from that, that is a valuable. If you want to join and if you want to make a development on Python, you can join. The link is in the description. Apply for that and go on. And then I completed training on cloud computing with a focus of Azure and AWS. And if you remember the JD, there is Azure and AWS also a keywords. And then achieved 9.5 CGPA in my academics. This is an achievement, guys. Show your achievements, showcasing constant and dedication and performance. So showcasing constant dedication and performance, and won the hackathon. So this is one of the best achievement a student can post on a resume. Won the hackathon conducted by IQ interns. So basically IQ interns conducts hackathons. If you join and join the membership team, you have all the hackathons and even prize monies will be distributed. Check it out, guys. And won the hackathon conducted by IQ interns with my team, and demonstrating exponential problem solving and teamwork skills. Okay, so this is the best achievements we can post. Two best achievements we can post. Achieved 9.5 CGPA and won hackathon. And summary, this is the elevation. This is the second elevation of your resume. In this, our computer science graduate, skilled in Python, SQL, Flask and data analysis using NumPy and Pandas. See, I mentioned all the keywords which was there in the role. And experience in API integration, this is also a keyword, and database management, this is also a keyword, with a proven ability to learn new technologies and collaborate effectively. See, you need to summarize really a little bit, because if you summarize that in a bigger ones, no one will really care, but ATS will read out that. But if you take that to your interviewer, single page is good. If there is single page, he asks you minimal question and he might skip you. That means he might skip bigger parts there, which you might save in that parts. So don't make 2 pages, try to make in 1 page. Here I fit everything in 1 page. This is a beautiful resume for that role. Okay, this is definitely going to score for 97 or 98 out of 100. ATS scoring. So this is the best template out there, and I'm damn sure try this out and you comment me after later on. Okay, and yeah, so this is the best resume we can speak out, guys. And if you see, yeah, so now check all the keywords were there in there or not. Okay, now I'll keep that aside. Yeah, now check, guys. Now take a screenshot here and check it out. Check it out whether everything was matched or not. Now this resume is going to crack every application possible in LinkedIn or Indeed or anywhere. Okay, and one more thing, the final one, guys. So if you want to know how to apply with the same resume in LinkedIn, go check it out my other video I was mentioning there. I mentioned everything properly how to apply in LinkedIn. Okay, and thank you, guys.